Hello and welcome to the Brutal Iron Gym podcast, where our goal is to cut through the BS and deliver the brutal truth about topics related to health and happiness. So today's topic is training, and we're going to discuss working hard to stand still. So this conversation came from talking with a client, and it was talking in regards to someone the client knew. I'm going to be very vague on this because I don't want to get the client in trouble, but someone that we both collectively knew. They are exercising pretty much every day, most days of the week, but the person isn't doing really anything new. They're just kind of doing the same exercises, around the same weights, around the same sets, around the same reps, and they're doing it because they're comfortable doing it. Now, the person would say, is it's challenging, it's uncomfortable, it's really hard, it makes me sweat, blah, 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 blah. And with what they know, they would be telling the truth. The problem is that this person doesn't recognize that they have more to give. And they expect that they're going to get more from what they're currently giving. So there's kind of two parts there. Is they think they're trying really hard, but they're actually not. And there's way more room for kind of improvement, more aggression, more effort than what they're giving. Now, that is hard to eventually show someone because we all like to believe that we're working hard. So when someone tells you that you're not, you get very defensive. That's reasonable. I guess not a great reaction. It's something that we should actually kind of like consider is if somebody we respect gives us their opinion, and if it's counter to what we would think, it's something that we would want to consider. So it's natural reaction maybe to get like annoyed at somebody if they tell you you're not working hard, but we want to be better than our natural reactions. So we want to say to ourselves, okay, is this person telling me this? Like, do I care about them? Do I know they're telling me because they love me? Like, if it's some jerk that we don't know, who gives a crap what they think? But if it's somebody that we care about and we know that has our best interest in mind, and they're telling us that we could be trying harder, we do need to consider kind of thinking that through and saying, okay, is there some truth to what they're saying? So, for example, this person, they're going through a routine every day. And every day they do the same exercises pretty much. I think they have an A and a B, or like a workout 1 and 2 kind of thing. But it's a repeated stimulus over and over again. They're going to say that they're working on trying to perfect it. But we've talked about this before in training, and this is generally what we're going to talk about today, is if you can perfect it with the current body you have, why the hell would your body make any changes? So if your current body can do what you're asking it to do, why would it become something new? If I only ever try to bench press 100 pounds, and my body can already bench press 100 pounds, will I all of a sudden magically develop the ability to bench 105 or 110 or 115 or 120? You could argue, yes, if I benched 100 pounds, maybe today, next time, maybe I try for 2 sets of 1, the following time 3 sets of 1. That's my point, is that you're continuing to progress the stimulus because you want to continue to progress the results. But if you just went in, you warmed up, you benched 100 pounds and walked away. You went in, you warmed up, you benched 100 pounds, you walked away. You went in, you warmed up, you benched 100 pounds, you walk away. Are you ever going to get above 100 pounds? No. If you provide the same stimulus to the body, it will stay the same. That's how it works. It's actually great that it works this way because if we provide a greater stimulus, we know the body will try to adapt to that by making changes. Therefore, we can provide a stimulus in the direction of the change that we would like to make. So if I want to get stronger, I make a stimulus progression towards strength. If I want to get bigger muscles, if I want to get better endurance, blah, 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 blah. You provide the stimulus that you want the response to. But the stimulus has to be progressively improved if you want your results to progressively improve. So, going back to the title, is working hard to stand still. Often people will start exercising. They get some results. They start a diet. They get some results. They eventually get into kind of like a routine, and they repeat it over and over and over. And then they wonder why their results plateau. Why am I not continuing to lose weight? Why am I not continuing to get stronger? Why am I not continuing to build muscle? Because the thing that you did to create the initial stimulus was new to that body. and therefore the body made changes. Then the body made the changes to the stimulus that you provided. The stimulus stayed the same, so once it made enough changes, it didn't have to keep changing anymore. So, this person is exercising pretty much every day. They say they're going to work hard, but it's never more hard than the last time they worked. And then they're going to wonder why they're not getting more results than the last time they got results. Say the last time the body made some changes. So this is often what happens is people work hard to stand still because their hard work stays the same. They never provide a new degree of stimulus. Therefore, they never get a new degree of adaptation. Once the initial adaptation is made to the initial stimulus, there isn't any more change from there. So, what we have to do is to recognize that although we think we're working hard today, we need to work even harder tomorrow. And then, in tomorrow's workout, we need to even work harder than we did today, than that day. So, if you have 3 workouts 1, 2, 3. When you repeat 1, you have to do better than the last time you did workout 1. When you repeat workout 2, you have to do better than the last time you did workout number 2. You have to progressively improve upon the stimulus if you want to progressively improve upon the results. So, just showing up and doing stuff doesn't count. Oh, I went out in my yard and I was pretty active. Do you think that'll help me get stronger? No, you dumbass, because you didn't do anything that was strength-based. If I want to get, this is frustrating because I'm trying not to be insulting, but it's absolutely asinine and stupid that people think just basic borderline average manual labor will make them somehow get progressively better. So it's like, I went out in the yard and I pulled some weeds. Will that make me stronger? No. Was the weed planted like in freaking concrete? Did you have to use all of your muscles to pull weeds? No. You plucked a couple blades of grass out of the ground, and now you think that counts as exercise. Oh my God, you got off your fat ass and did something outside. Congratulations. You don't get rewards for that. You have to freaking train hard. You have to try effort. You have to do things that are challenging, not just things that aren't lazy. Ugh. Probably too fired up today to do this podcast. Good luck to all of you. So, but the reason why I do get frustrated is because nothing in life comes free. That's an accepted universal aspect of life. You do not get to make money without working. Okay? Maybe you can argue like, I got an injury and got a settlement. Okay, but you get the point of general is I don't make money if I don't make work. Okay? So I don't lose weight if I don't eat less. I don't get stronger if I don't try to pick up heavy things. You don't get stuff for doing nothing. And if you do the same thing, it would make total sense that you're going to get the same result. So if I did a workout that got me some results, and I continue to do that same workout, my body will not progress because it only had to progress the initial response. So if I could only ever bench press 50 pounds and I kept trying to pick up 60, 60, 60, 60, 60, eventually my body gets to 60, it figures that out. But if I continue to press just 60, 60, 60, 60, it doesn't all of a sudden move to 70. And then if I continue to progress, pick up 60, 60, 60, 60, 60, it doesn't move to 80. The body does not continue to progress above the stimulus you provide. So you must provide a new stimulus if you want to get new. Okay. So enough of me kind of being grumpy and ranting. So how do we do new? Okay. Well, we've talked about this in a couple past podcasts, but the first one we want to look at is every single time we repeat a certain workout, we want to progress. We have to improve upon our performance. We have to try new if we want to get new from that workout. So, in podcast number 70, way back in podcast number 70, so we talked about the importance of progressions. We talked about how every workout, you want to try to improve upon your technique. Can I do the movement with better mind-muscle connection? Can I do it with better kind of overall understanding of how it should be performed and what muscles are truly supposed to be involved versus the ones we're involving accidentally? Can I make my efforts a better quality? Just that alone, doing the same thing you've done before, but doing it at a better technique level, will improve upon the intensity of the stimulus, and you can get progressive results from that. You also can improve upon weight that you use. So maybe last time you did 3 sets of 10 with 100 pounds. Maybe this time you can do 3 sets of 10 with 105 pounds. That extra bit of weight improves upon the stimulus. Therefore, you get improved results. Maybe I'm not strong enough in a single kind of repetitive cycle to do more weight. Okay, well, if I did 3 sets of 10 of 100 pounds, maybe I can do 3 sets of 11. That gives me a couple extra reps. It's not much, but if you do that every workout over time, it makes big results. So I was just talking with a client this morning. We tracked her first 100 workouts together. So we've been training for a couple of years. We tracked her first 100 workouts. And 95 of the first 100 workouts, she was able to improve upon weight, reps, or sets of each of the exercises we repeated on a weekly cycle. Meaning that out of the first 100 workouts, she did a workout variation style about 50 times in a row. Now, it wasn't the exact same exercise. We switched out exercises, but we typically would switch exercises every month and try to pick ones that were more aggressive towards the stimulus choice that we wanted. So it can be simply just kind of going from maybe a flat dumbbell press to a 15-degree incline dumbbell press. It's enough of a variance that it feels a little bit different to the body, but it still targets the same muscles, and you can still move relatively similar weights. So there are downsides to changing exercises where sometimes somebody will accidentally decrease the overall stimulus because they actually accidentally decrease the weight load of the exercise. So some exercises, for example, let's take a leg press with 2 legs versus a leg press with 1 leg. No matter how hard you try with 1 leg, you will not be able to place as much weight load into your supportive structures of the legs and hips as when you would have 2 legs. You could argue that, if you could do 60% of a 2-leg load on a single leg, that's technically maybe an increased weight load onto that single leg. But if you're looking at things like osteoporosis, arthritic issues that you're trying to fight against, heavy overall weight load is extremely important for osteoporosis change. So trying to like bone density. So it wouldn't matter if we went down to a single leg and still handled 60%, that's still only 60% of the overall weight load going through the connective tissues and joints and bones. So sometimes people will change exercises thinking they're improving the intensity, but they're actually maybe pulling away from the intended results. So we talked about in podcast 433 and 437 about exercise selection. So you can listen to those podcasts to kind of learn more about how to pick the right type of exercises when you change them. But every single workout, we want to focus on podcast number 70, the importance of progressions. We want to improve our technique. We want to improve weight that we can use. We want to improve reps that we can use, or we want to improve sets. So if I was doing 3 sets of 10 of 100 pounds and I couldn't do more than 100 pounds and I can't really do more than 10 reps, my form would be crap. Well, I have to do 4 sets then. Somehow, every time you train, you should improve upon technique, weight, reps, or sets if you repeat an exercise. How long should you repeat exercises? Typically, I try to tell people to change them about every 4 to 8 workouts. There's an enormous amount of variance in there, but let's just go with 4 to 8. To where you want to do it at least 4 times to improve your technique on it and get a better understanding of how you're doing it. But after about the 8th time you do that same freaking exercise and workout routine, the body kind of really adapts to it, and it becomes harder and harder to try to improve upon weight, reps, and sets because the body's actually going to become very efficient at the movement. So therefore, you have to change exercises. So every 4 to 8 weeks, you should change exercises. You don't have to necessarily change the structure of your workout, but you do need to change the exercises of your workout. And like we said, podcast 433 and 437 can discuss exercise selection. So that way you can be aware that the changes you're making are actually progressive towards your goal, not just changing for the sake of it being different, but accidentally moving backward. So we've talked about this again in a podcast number 140 titled Varying Intensity to Break Plateaus. So if you vary your intensity, meaning I change the style of my training, that can also help as well. So maybe I typically just do kind of like exercise 1, I do sets 1, 2, 3. I then go to exercise 2, I do sets 1, 2, 3. Exercise 3, sets 1, 2, 3. Well, sometimes just changing your style to doing supersets, where you do exercise 1 and 2 together. You do set 1 of exercise 1 right into set 1 of exercise 2. Take a break. Then you do set 2 of exercise 1 and set 2 of exercise 2. Take a break. So you're kind of doing the exercises back to back, then taking a break. That change, very subtle, even using the same exercises, can change the overall stimulus because it changes the rest periods and it changes what would be called the intensity of the movements, how hard they feel. So that's what we want to look at. Is just because you go into the gym and you move stuff around, just because you work out at home, just because you do wherever your workouts are, just because you showed up and did stuff does not mean you will make progress. It does help kind of ensure you won't go backwards, but you don't get bonus points. You don't get to move forward. You don't get to be better by not putting in better. If you put in the same, you get the same. If you put in better, you get better. So make sure if you're going to work hard, you work hard to move forward, not work hard to stand still. Okay. So check out those podcasts. They'll help you, especially number 70. Please check out podcast number 70 and start tracking your performances and start trying to push yourself a little bit here or there. 1 or 2 extra reps every time you repeat the workout doesn't seem like a big deal. But like that client I had, we tracked the first 100. We made 95 out of 100 days. We were able to make changes. The 5 that we didn't was because she was either sick or came back from a trip or some kind of circumstance. But 95 times she made a small change. That equals big results. Okay, if you need anything towards kind of workout structures, if you feel kind of stale in your training and you'd like a new kind of training style or program, or if you're not sure how to approach your goals because nothing seems to be moving forward, please reach out to us. We're always happy to help. That's why we make these podcasts. We hope they're super duper helpful, okay? So email us at brutalirongym@gmail.com if you have any questions or if you need any help. Thank you for listening, and I do hope it was helpful. Now, if it was helpful, please share it with other people. So anytime you like any of the podcasts, if you do at all, hopefully, please share them in some way on social media, send a message to a friend some way. But the more people we help, the happier the world will be. And the more the people around us that we love and care about can live healthier, happier lives. So please share the podcast if you like it. Also, if you like this information, you can find more from us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Brutal Iron Gym. And if you have any questions, feedback, or suggestions, we'd love to hear from you. The podcast is for you, so we want to know what you want to learn about. You can tell us at our email at brutalirongym@gmail.com. As always, I hope this was helpful, and thank you for listening. And thank you for watching.